Alright, time to get this show on the road here. Hey there everybody, this is Dice Bag, artist, game designer, world builder, and occasional VTuber. We got some work to do today. I'm looking awfully small on the screen. Hold up. Let me scooch you up a bit. Make sure we got the Tone Boys in frame here. Not that they say much, but just in case. So how's it going, chat? Do we have anybody in here yet? Usually a little slow during the holidays. Holidays kinda suck, to be honest. It's also come to my attention that this chick still doesn't have a name yet. I'm gonna have to be thinking about that. I wasn't entirely sure if this design was ready or not. And by ready, I mean I'm happy with it. Because I just kind of threw it together and I wasn't too entirely sure if I really liked it all that much. I think we're gonna need to work on some of the symmetry here before I start coloring this. Her face is looking a little wonky. And Patron, when he was lining this thing, did the needful and fixed my excessive lean that I drew her with to begin with. I think we still needed a little bit more fixing there. So let's kind of slim down the neck a tad. Just a little bit. And to be completely honest, I don't have much of an idea of what this chick should be colored like. Which is kind of why I was putting her off. Let's see. We do have her son over here that we can draw from. Let's pull his base colors here for skin and hair. And we'll just use those directly. Because clearly he takes more after his mom than his dad. If I can find an image of said dad. Not super close. Kinda similar in the eyes. What's her eyes like? What did I do for those? Okay. And then the bright blonde hair. Ooh, I need to get the face off of there. There we go. So we're probably going to use a similar color scheme to Anton over there. So let's just kind of lift some of his colors. Kinda like so. See, kind of hard to see exactly where all of the gaps in the coloring are at when we're dealing with such light colors. We might have to darken the background to get them all. You know what? Let's get his what is that? Burgundy? Something like that. Actually, it might work better. What if we did this? That might work out. Let's see. Let's use his colors for this stuff too. Let's see. Yeah, that might not work so well. I'll use a silvery one for that little piece. I'm thinking maybe shoes would look better this color. Maybe not. Maybe just the tips. Now I'm thinking they just need to be all dark. Alright. Got the flats down here, so let's just go ahead and like darken the entire thing here. And then we'll be able to see where the gaps are a little better. Don't see a whole lot. Looks like most of it's just up in the hair. Got a little bit here. We'll need to fill this in too because I forgot that. I'm actually thinking this needs to be a little more like so. Alright, that's pretty good. I'm gonna take out what I put on there, because I don't want to work subtractively for this. It's gonna be too much of a hassle. We will just do good old-fashioned draw it on. Whoop. We're gonna have to turn on refer to other layers here if I want to use the fill tool. You know what? I need to simplify my shading a little bit more than what I was doing there. We're not gonna put too much detail into the hair. I see another gap. Another gap. There we go. No more gap. You know what? I moved her face down before the stream, but I think we need to put it back up to show that she's kind of lifting her head. Because her hairline is kind of awkward otherwise.
Ponyboy Horse says, Dicebag fact, Dicebag was bullied at school. He was homeschooled.
Ponyboy! I was not homeschooled, and I made friends with people who tried to bully me, actually. Bullies respect banter, wouldn't you know it? How's it going, Ponyboy? We are drawing this nameless waifu right now.
Ponyboy Horse says, life is a tornado, and I am the cow circling around for comedic effect.
Well, good luck with that. I've actually been making some good progress on Crytures.
Ponyboy Horse says, how can you call her a waifu when her hair is too long?
Well, for one thing, she is literally a wife. So there's that. Also, she's not a tomboy. So there's also that. She's gonna need a name, though. I've still not figured out a name. This file is still called Girl 37. So if you got any ideas, let me hear them.
Ponyboy Horse says. She looks like she has nice assets.
Yeah, I suppose. I didn't really mean to draw them that nice, personally, but, you know, things happen. I have a tendency to go overboard. Still not in the same league as, say, Chloe or Maybell.
Ponyboy Horse says. Why not name her Autumn?
Autumn? I don't know. I'm not really feeling autumn here. I think she's got too much like spring and summer energy to her to be autumn.
Ponyboy Horse says. What about Hana, which is Japanese for flower?
I usually like to go with more Germanic themed names for these characters. Really didn't need to put all of this in
Ponyboy
shadow.
Horse says. Elsa.
Elsa? Could be an Elsa. But do we want her to be associated with Spider-Man? Need to get on babynames.com and find something. In fact, let me pull that up right now.
Ponyboy Horse says. Name her Eva.
Eva. Let's see what these mean. Giver of life? What was the other one? Elsa? Short form of Elizabeth, it says.
Ponyboy Horse says, Erica is a Germanic name.
It is. Elizabeth means God is my oath. Let's look for Erica. You really like your E names, huh? Erica means always ruler. We're gonna save that one.
Says, Germans like the ES.
Let's do a search for... Let's see, where is it? We can do a search for meaning around here, somewhere. Where is it? Search by name meaning, there it is. I typed in flower and there's a lot of them. Lots of them are just names for flowers. Let's see, can we narrow the search by origin? Doesn't look like we can narrow the search, that's annoying. Because there's a lot of different name origins here. Yeah, there's one I already used, Leilani. Padme? That's a... means lotus flower. Huh. Didn't know that. All this time, having been a Star Wars fan, didn't know Padme was named after a flower. Here's one. Ketzel Zoctil.
Anakin out here choking his flower.
Oh, this stupid thing. It doesn't like the back button when you do a search. You know what? We'll hang on to Erica for now. We'll make the decision later. I'm actually getting surprisingly close, I think, to having the game in a releasable state, which is kind of scary. We've only got like 9 things left on the list for the release countdown. And some of them are things that I might not even really need. Or things that I already have and just haven't put on the website or something. Let's tone down the shadows on this. I don't think it needs to be so dark for this. Maybe a little more dark. Been really facing a challenge on how to present everything for the actual, like, game stuff. Like, I have the whole website and everything, but it's kind of limited because the service I'm using to host it and, like, do all the building, website building and stuff only allows, like, 100 pages on the website, which can be gotten around in certain ways, but I'm getting close to the limit, so I have to find some more creative ways to deliver the content. Rather than just making a page for every single thing. I think what I'm gonna do is have, like, PDFs that you can view on the website for some of the stuff that's not like the core rules. So basically, like, the paid stuff that you use to run the game, all the DM material, I'm gonna have like a section for that where you can just open it up as a PDF on the website. Or download it if you so choose.
Ponyboy Horse says, when are you going to make merchandise?
I have merchandise. It's on Redbubble.
Ponyboy Horse says, like life-sized plushes that arrive in unmarked packaging.
Well, we don't have those yet. Those are a little beyond my capabilities at the moment. No body pillows either.
Ponyboy Horse says, we demand waifudakis.
Give it some time. Give us some time, Ponyboy. I'd like to, you know, see some of the stuff I already have up. Get some sales before I commit to something like a Docky. Or a plushie. Of course, we actually need to have an audience for that. That's the tricky part. Getting people to see the things and say, I want that. Twitter hasn't been super helpful with that recently either. I'm trying to be a good reply guy, but like everything that I get that I see in my feed now is just like hours and hours old, like half a day old at least, and it's like, wow. That's lost all its traction by now.
Ponyboy Horse says, time to bot the posts.
Can't really rely on running ads either, because if you do that, the algorithm's like, oh, you're willing to pay for reach, are you? Well, guess you don't need organic reach then. Frickin' algorithms.
Ponyboy Horse says, why not have local game shops advertise it?
Local game shops? What local game shops? I live in rural town, Illinois over here. We ain't got no game shops. Alright. That's looking okay. I guess the good thing about Crytures is that I'm gonna keep making new stuff for it, though. So I can just keep chugging away. Focus on promoting it after it's already got the basics released and people can actually like have something to play and see.
Flowerboy25 says, howdy y'all. Flowerboy25 says, how y'all doing?
Hey there, Flower Boy, how's it going? We're just working on some characters for my tabletop RPG here. This is Crytures, spelled with a Y, because it's a portmanteau of crystal creatures. And it's basically Pokemon DnD.
Ponyboy Horse says, what a name.
Yeah, right. I've had to explain that to so many people.
Flowerboy25 says, it's going good. I saw my 2 favorite things of DnD and Pokemon and figured I have to tune in.
Well, that's exactly what we're looking for. We're not really working on the monsters and stuff at the moment, but if you want to see more of what we got, there's probably a link below that has the website that you can peruse while I'm working on this here. I'm probably going to work on some creature eggs, like so, once I get this chick done.
Says, word of warning, Dicebag does not like tomboys in his game.
Ponyboy, you just have a very narrow definition of tomboys. We have plenty of tomboys. They're just not the short-haired muscle mommies like you like.
Ponyboy Horse says, you got like one.
We got more than that. You just don't accept it because they have longer hair.
Flowerboy25 says, what's y'all's favorite Pokemon? I have mine tattooed on me.
I'm partial to Whimsicott. I think it's very cute and goofy, and I like it.
Ponyboy Horse says, I like Wooloo.
He likes the basic sheep. I lost my color wheel there for a second.
Flowerboy25 says, I mean I like Azumarill.
There's an old one. I remember when that was a new Pokemon. Back in my day.
Flowerboy25 says, so I assume you like a DM.
When I have to be. Which is pretty much always, I guess, yeah. I guess I am like a DM. For a while there, we were running a...
Flowerboy25 says, "That's sick, I'm just starting to learn to DM, wrote my own one-shot based on my favorite horror game."
I see. Yeah, we were running a West Marches style campaign for a while, but we kinda had to put it on hold because people were busy with the holidays. Hopefully we can start that back up and show the game off a little more after all the holidays are over. Let's see. Now we gotta do the face here. Let's see. Let's bring up Anton. We're basically just using his colors.
Flowerboy25 says, "What's your favorite DnD class?"
I don't know, man. Been a long time since I played actual D&D. I usually go for some kind of spellcaster, though. You know, as you
Ponyboy
might have
says,
guessed.
"I play a Mercer's Gunslinger Fighter."
Gunslingers. Guns don't belong in fantasy. That's definitely something I'd expect from you, though, Ponyboy.
Ponyboy Horse says, "I liked playing a chaotic neutral wild magic sorcerer once." Flowerboy25 says, "Wizards when the run out spells but not shells."
What am I doing here? Oh yeah, color in the face. I need a separate layer. Let's see. So lower this and shift it more towards blue. There we go. Earlier I was just thinking about all the stuff I had to like put on the back burner so I could focus on actually getting like the basic stuff for the game fleshed out and put out. So once I do finally get this thing cleaned up enough to make a full release, we're gonna have all kinds of fun taking the systems I've worked on and like applying them to all the new stuff that I had to shelve for development. Can start bringing in like the other regions and the other mythic creatures. And other factions. And I actually flesh out the world a little bit more. But we gotta get the systems in place first.
Ponyboy Horse says, you should make some pirates.
Pirates. I don't have any plans for pirates yet. That's the thing that could exist.
Says, and make the pirate captain a muscle mommy tomboy.
Of course, that's what you want. Let's see, how does Anton's... Okay, he's just got like the light pupils.
Flowerboy25 says, dog has a goal and an idea, I respect it.
Everything's got a tomboy angle with a ponyboy over here. In fact, he also goes by Tomboy Enthusiast on other platforms.
Ponyboy Horse says,
boy has a one-track mind.
You have to give the people what they want eventually. Ponyboy Horse says, it is what the market demands.
Okay, look, Ponyboy here. We have room for your kind of ideas, but they are in a specific section of the world that we'll have to get to, okay? Once we get to the barbarian clans, then we can do something something close to what you're asking for. But this is one of the things we had to shelve, remember? We had to put these guys on the back burner. Because the game was just too bloated. Too much stuff in the game. I couldn't finish it all. Anyways, focusing on the things that I need to do. Let's see. Alright, that is the right layer. Get a little shine on that eye. Hell yeah. Let's see, we'll probably need a little bit of a stronger overlay to really get the shine on this showing even more. Still can't see a whole lot. Let's go ahead and put a little bit of a shadow on there. Nice. Since I'm self-conscious right now, let's flip it and take a look. That's not bad. I think I got most of the issues fixed. Face still looks a little bit lopsided though. Alright, let's kinda Tone down the jaw
says,
a little bit here.
Bro says there's issues. Looks perfect to me.
Oh, there's issues. Very minor ones, but it's an issue. This is why I say art is like... Art skill is like 90% being able to see things. Perception of detail.
Ponyboy Horse says, the biggest issue is she is wearing clothes.
Come on now, Pony Boy. We can't just draw the waifus naked. That would leave out important character details. Let's crop this down so it's not huge when we put it in other things. I keep forgetting to do that. Also, Ponyboy, I can't believe you'd say that about the wife of the Duke. Do you really want to get in trouble with the Master of the Verdant King? Let's see. We'll just call her Erica since we didn't think of a better name.
Ponyboy Horse says, worth it.
All right. Alright, let's save this as a transparent PNG here. Now I guess we can spend the rest of the time playing around with egg designs.
Ponyboy Horse says, she's a transparent. The game went woke.
Not like that, Ponyboy. Now the question is, what creatures do we want to do? Any suggestions? I didn't come into this with plans. Let's see.
Ponyboy Horse says, turtle.
Turtle. We do have a turtle.
Flowerboy25 says, a scorpion.
Now we do not have a scorpion. Well, we do have Tordnance over here. I could do a Tordnance egg. Let's see, what do turtle eggs actually look like so we can get something to work off of? Also, while I'm looking at the browser, I should probably pin the Twitter stream.
Glib Privation says, cheap viewer stream Buddha.
Hello, cheap viewers.
UAT3GJKX. Ponyboy Horse says, turtle fact, turtles are all friends and you should try to pick them up.
Glib Privation. You are banned. Ban the bots. That's nice. Last time I didn't have anybody showing up
after
to...
picking up the snapping turtle and losing a finger.
Last stream I didn't have any bots showing
Ponyboy
up.
Horse says, they bite out of love.
Let's see. I got distracted here. Turtle eggs. Yes, there's the Minecraft turtle egg. Thank you, Search. You know what? There's not a whole lot special about turtle eggs. They look kinda just like regular eggs.
Flowerboy25 says, sounds like my cat, she bites out of love.
Some of these are like very round. Yeah, I guess we'll go with something pretty round here.
Ponyboy Horse says, I had a cat that knocked out my tooth.
How big was your freaking cat, Ponyboy? Did you have a cheetah in there?
Ponyboy Horse says, it was a loose tooth and I was sleeping.
Ah, okay. That makes sense. Alright, since turtle eggs are pretty round, we're just gonna start with the circle. The lazy way of making the circle with the round brush. There we go. No manual dexterity necessary. So I guess the thing to do would be to like put the shell pattern on this. That seems like the most obvious thing. Let's spruce it up a little bit and we'll have like the ooh. That's a big eraser. We kinda have like this thing going on. Kinda looks like one of those Gachapon capsules. Also, I suck at drawing things on round surfaces. Actually, I just kind of suck at geometry in general, let's be honest. That seems a little better. This will probably show a little more on the top, though. Tordnans is actually one of the creatures that I still need to make a whole creature codex entry for. I have not really developed the ecology of these guys one bit. Other than they live in the wet areas. That's about all we know about them right now.
Ponyboy Horse says, want to imagine something unsettling?
Not
a
really.
mayonnaise pie with a Doritos crust.
Mayonnaise pie was already unsettling enough. Why'd you have to add Doritos crust in there? Is this the specialty holiday food of the Ponyboy clan?
Ponyboy Horse says, I do not eat that.
Alright, if you say so. I've probably heard of worse. Sounds about like it's on par with, like, potato salad. How do you all feel about potato salad? Now that I'm talking about it. Not a fan, personally. It just looks gross and slimy to me.
Ponyboy Horse says, heresy.
For once, we agree. Once again, my poor geometry skills are catching up with me. Oh yeah, Ponyboy, you're a Warhammer guy, right? Have you seen Space King? Like, I don't like Warhammer, but I do like me some Space King. No answer. He's either watching a different stream or he's typing up a long post.
Ponyboy Horse says. Io watch yo say.
I was asking if you liked Space King.
Ponyboy Horse says. Space King is funny. Ponyboy Horse says. It is based.
I do like me some Space King. I thought about making myself an asset of like a Space King power armor I can just put over my model.
Ponyboy Horse says. I like the part where they yeeted the sympathizer.
Really good comedy in that show. Wish it was put out more episodes more frequently. I like how they all just act like little kids all the time.
Ponyboy Horse says. It's better than modern Hollywood. Ponyboy Horse says. Looking at you new Fallout show.
Oh man. The anatomy of this thing is all off, but it's close enough, I guess. I probably should have just skipped out on the rib thing in the middle. Also, probably should have made it oriented the other way. Like that, but you know, correct. Oh well, too late now. Ponyboy, why'd you have to pick such a hard one? Alright. Now we get some highlights on here. A little reflected light. Probably should tone that down a little bit. Yeah. Okay, next one. What else do we want to do here? I'm once again open to suggestions. As I peruse my folder of creatures. Excuse me?
Ponyboy Horse says. Turtle.
We just did the only turtle. We gotta have something new, Ponyboy.
Ponyboy Horse says. Turtle again.
No. Let's see.
Ponyboy Horse says. 1984.
1984. Here, we're gonna do Gum Pillar. After we move all these things up so I have more space. In fact, we're gonna move all this stuff around. Move the creatures closer to their eggs. Alright. Now we got some more space. Let's see, now Gunpillar is a elephant caterpillar. And since elephants don't lay eggs, we're gonna have to look at some butterfly eggs. Okay, this is an interesting little picture. We got ones like this. Most of them just seem to be fairly round little things. Whoops. Whoop. Shrink that down. Got some there too. A little more oblong looking. I'm thinking we kind of make this one look like a little bit of an Easter egg. So let's get us a symmetry ruler. Something like that. And we just kind of segment it. Now let's make it a little bit lumpy. Then we'll just make it multicolored like so. done now. Not quite.
Ponyboy Horse says. Why he looking like he's gonna sell me a 50-year mortgage on groceries?
He's an elephant pony boy. Not what you were thinking. I don't know who thought that 50-year mortgage thing was a good idea, though. That is what you're referencing, right? That news came out and I saw a bunch of people like, actually, a 50-year mortgage isn't that bad of an idea. You can build equity in your house, and most people sell their house after like 5 years and move anyways. And it's like, yeah, but people don't want to move that often. They do it because they have to, usually.
Ponyboy Horse says. I hate modernity.
Yeah. The modern world sucks, man. Let's make this thing a little bit bigger to match the others. There we go. Let's see if we can kind of thin up some of these lines, though. Okay. What's next? Now, why don't we just do all the, like, caterpillar thingamajigs? We'll do Budley over here.
Zero Festiva Zero says. Plaps.
I hope you're not plapping any of these Festiva. How's it going, by the way? We're drawing creature eggs, in case you couldn't tell. You missed the waifu. We were drawing a waifu earlier. There you go. There's your plap material. But she's not the focus right now. I'm thinking we kinda go with the same shape that Gumpillar
Zero
had.
Festiva Zero says. Yeah, we talking biology. Show me the creature shaker. I'm talking the creature shaker. Shake that creature.
We ain't shaking no creatures today.
Ponyboy Horse says. 1984. Ponyboy Horse says. Dicebag never give his audience what they want.
It wasn't that long ago that I specifically made a short-haired girl for you, Ponyboy. And all you did was demand more.
Zero Festiva Zero says. Anyway, back to drowning my art block in Minecraft.
That's not a very good way to fix art block. Even if it does have block prominently featured.
Ponyboy Horse says. We need more. Ponyboy Horse says. Muscle Mommy Tomboy Pirate Captain.
No! I haven't even written bios for the characters I have yet. That's something I need to do.
Zero Festiva Zero says. I'm listening, draw that now.
No. We're drawing creature eggs right now. And that's that.
Ponyboy Horse says. I told you that is what the audience demanded.
Well, if I did everything the audience wants, I'd never get my game done. We aren't making some waifu gotcha game here. I have other priorities. Alright. Let's put all that in a folder. And we can clipping mask it. You know what? Maybe we'll think of a waifu to draw after we get the caterpillar guys egged up. Probably not gonna be a muscle mommy pirate though. Not really ready for seafaring content and creatures yet.
Ponyboy Horse says. It will be the muscle mommy tomboy pirate captain or we riot.
Riot, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do over in the chat? Type things at me? Ooh. What a riot. I'm so scared. Let's see, what do we got next? Patapitter? Ponyboy, your spam doesn't even get picked up by Geronimo. Alright, I think we got another case for a round ball egg here.
Ponyboy Horse says. Riot, 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 riot.
Oh no. Please don't increase chat activity. That might gulp make the algorithm like me. I should just rage bait you guys more. Yeah, we'll draw a waifu next, but it's not going to be a tomboy at all. She's going to have...
I'm telling Santa that you won't make the muscle mommy tomboy pirate captain.
she's going to be like a nerdy girl with hair like down to her ankles. A frail, petite, nerdy girl with super long hair. It might just be Chloe, now that I think about it. No muscles to speak of. Couldn't even lift a sword if she tried. Definitely can't crush you with her thighs.
Ponyboy Horse says. The Goyim have gone insane.
How are you calling a Goyim? Don't you know muscle mommies are a psyop? To make you dislike actual femininity.
Ponyboy Horse says. You for not making muscle mommy tomboy pirate captain.
I don't know what you mean, Ponyboy. Perhaps you should rephrase that. I think you may have fat-fingered something different than what you intended. Alright. Whoops, what's this? Oh. Whoops. Need to do this a little differently if I'm gonna have it on the same layer.
Ponyboy Horse says, Agartha has tomboy muscle mommies.
Well, Agartha would be in the subterranean regions. We're talking about the surface world. Okay. We ain't got no Agarthans yet. Not in Crytures.
Ponyboy Horse says, Agartha is real no matter what you say. Link says, I've received 100 messages today with Rest Ream chat.
Alright, Ponyboy, whatever you say. You can believe in Agartha if you want. Ah. I drew on the wrong layer, guys. Mark it on the bingo card. Let's see, I think there's like one more. And this kind of insect grouping that we have. Skittle. So just the placement of these a little bit, they're bugging me. Alright. We'll do Skittle here. And then we'll draw something else. Let's see, symmetry eraser? Or ruler, not eraser. Let's look up spider eggs real quick to see if there's some inspiration we can go by. Alright, yeah, about what I was expecting. We're just gonna make this egg kind of wrapped up like his metamorphosis mumble. Maybe have some of this going on here.
Ponyboy Horse says, Dicebag fact, Dicebag does not follow me on Twitter because he hates me.
I thought your Twitter bio had said something about don't follow you. I don't know, there's something passive aggressive on there.
Ponyboy Horse says, that's made up. Ponyboy Horse says, not there.
Really, let's see.
Ponyboy Horse says, you are obviously misremembering.
Oh, there you are. That's why you had... Do not take Twitter seriously. You should also not take my Twitter too seriously. I knew it was something passive aggressive. I think it might have been more so last time I checked, but
Ponyboy Horse says, you are delusional. Ponyboy Horse says, Don't be crazy.
Ponyboy, if you've changed your mind and you want people to follow you, maybe I'll give you a follow. Cause you know what would really get me to follow you though was fan art. Crytures fan art would really get me to follow you.
Ponyboy Horse says, time to make Crytures loots.
That's what Cohead does.
Ponyboy Horse says, I am not brave enough to follow Cohate's Twitter.
Probably for the best. Last time he drew Crytures lewds, it was a male. He did do one of Maybell, though. Because of course.
Ponyboy Horse says, did she have a massive dong?
Maybe? There's definitely some massive things, but I don't remember off the top of my head if there was a dong involved.
Ponyboy Horse says, if someone drew one of my girls with a dong, I would Minecraft myself.
Well, don't give the haters any ideas. You know what happens when you say stuff on the internet.
Ponyboy Horse says, luckily I am your only viewer, so we're safe.
What about Festiva?
Ponyboy Horse says, snitches get no bitches.
Oh. Had a little lag on the Clip Studio Paint there for a second. I better start saving, just in case something bad happens. I prided myself on being scuff-free for a while, but it hasn't been so good lately. In fact, while I was setting up today, I had to restart the PC because I checked CSP just to make sure things were kosher, and I didn't have pressure sensitivity. I was like, oh no, not this again. We're not doing another stream with no pressure sensitivity.
Ponyboy Horse says, "This looks like a piece of chewed gum underneath a desk in detention."
What do you expect a spider egg to look like? Pleasant?
Ponyboy Horse says, "Menacing."
Well, look at him. He's not a menacing kind of guy. Look at his one big eye. He's shaped like a friend. You know, shape language. He's round. And he's round. And he has round eyes. Shape language.
Ponyboy Horse says, "I actually like spiders and treat spiders nice." Ponyboy Horse says, "I let the spiders in my room live."
That sounds uncivilized to me, Ponyboy. Spiders are bugs just like the rest of them. Also, they leave webs. Screw that.
Ponyboy Horse says, "Spiders eat worse bugs and leave you alone."
Well, funny that. I like don't have any bugs.
Most spiders are also pretty tidy.
I always be finding spider webs around my house, but I don't find no, like, bugs except in the freaking basement, where we occasionally get some crickets. There was one time, back when I was a commissioning artist, and that was like my main source of income, where like, sometimes I would go days without leaving the house because, you know, that's where I work. I don't really need to go anywhere. And there was one time I went out to get some food, like at night, and I walked out onto a porch, and I saw this big, fat spider.
I have tons of spider webs in my house. The Goyim cannot connect these two in their mind.
There's this big old fat spider just suspended in the air in front of me. He had made this gigantic web just at the entrance of my porch, just covering like the whole thing. I'm like, oh hell no, you are leaving. You're gonna die, buddy. Also, I never see the spiders in places where they would get bugs, you know? They're always like up in the ceiling or something. And it's like, what are you guys doing? All the bugs are on the ground. They'd probably starve if I left them alone, but they have a tendency to wind up in the shower sometimes. That ain't pleasant. Never like seeing a speck somewhere when I've taken my glasses off and I'm naked, about to get wet, and I see a speck move in the shower and it's like, huh? The hell is that? And look a little closer and it's got freaking legs on it. Screw spiders. Except for jumping spiders, they're alright because they're cute. But they're still not allowed in the house.
Sam Haynard says, hello.
Hello! How's it going? Sam Hain? We're over here working on my monster collecting tabletop game. I'm drawing some creature eggs. And then I promised some of the guys in the chat that we'll do a waifu next. That's all they care about, I swear.
Sam Haynard says, how are you?
Oh, we're doing alright here. Just getting work done.
Ponyboy Horse says, Dicebag promised us a tomboy muscle mommy pirate captain.
I specifically said it's probably not going to be the tomboy muscle mommy pirate captain because we're not doing seafaring things in the game yet. Open your listening ears, Ponyboy.
Sam Haynard says, I got attracted by your bio as you said world builder and damn I'm in tell me what you do PLZ. Ponyboy Horse says,
I basically just do this.
Just call it concept art.
Concept art. Ponyboy, I have plenty of concept art. I need to make art that finishes the game. Yeah, so Sam Hain, if you want to know about this specifically, I do have a website down in the descriptions or whatever they call it on Twitch, I don't know. That has all the current info on the game. If you want to really know stuff, but yeah, right now I'm just working on eggs for the creatures. And then our monsters or things are called creatures spelled with a Y because it's a portmanteau of crystal creatures. Just to get that out of the way. That's the second time I said that because sometimes I forget, and that's usually one of the first things people ask about. Why is that Crytures? Is it Crytures?
Sam Haynard says, will absolutely check. I love this type of creativity. I also do world building.
Nice. What kind of worlds are you building? Let's see. Alright, there we go. There you can see we got a bunch of the creatures here.
Sam Haynard says, Right now I am working on writing my Arts in Oz lore, and I created a fantasy language for it.
Oh, the whole shebang with the fantasy language. I've specifically avoided going that far with my world building. Just a little too much for, like, the players and shit to deal with. Also, I don't think I'd ever actually use it. You know what, this is pissing me off. The lines on this are too thick.
Sam Hainart says, "Ahaha, yeah, I get it. I usually do illustration and writing, but I love to try new stuff. I really love your style, BTW."
Well, thanks. Oh, good to hear. Yeah, art is generally my main thing, but I really like game design mostly, so
anyway,
that's what I'm working
here to
with.
leave a message. What I like to do is wander through this dark land called Twitch to find artists and remind them all they are great, and I deeply appreciate their dedication. I'm just trying to spread some love around. So keep it up. I believe in you. This world needs artists like you.
Well, thanks. I definitely won't be stopping anytime soon.
Sam Hainart says, "Thank you for welcoming this dumb wanderer. Much love. Have a great stream."
Oh, we will. That looks a little better. Still a little chunky in the corners. Alright. That should be close enough. Okie dokie. Let's see. What kind of character could we draw? Besides a muscle mommy pirate captain. Let's see, we could probably stand to do a militia character. if I really want to throw a bone to the tomboy enthusiasts. Assuming they're even still around. Yeah, that head is too big. Something more like that. Probably more correct. Okie dokie. I'll make her taller than the usual ones.
Adam SH8BF says. How tall?
I don't know yet. Well, welcome, Adam. How's it going? are just over here working on some character designs for my monster collecting tabletop RPG.
Ponyboy Horse says, "Here comes the tomboy muscle mommy."
Now, Ponyboy, she's gonna have armor on, okay? So you're not gonna be able to see muscles.
Ponyboy Horse says, 1984.
I know. We have to maintain world consistency here. We are making her taller than the usual girls, though.
Ponyboy Horse says,
Ponyboy, I thought we were past this since I took that out of the voice thing.
Adam SH8BF says, unless the muscles built into the armor indentation like ancient Spartan armor.
Don't give Ponyboy any ideas here.
We are never gonna get past that.
I'm already regretting this choice. I hate drawing this hand position. What am I doing?
Roman style musculata, hell yeah, brother. Ponyboy Horse says, I am not regretting this choice.
Alright. We're just gonna have her, like, have a fist on her hip here. Instead of a whole hand, like, grabbing. Like I was going to do it. Let's see. Oh, you have a nice big old sword to lean on.
Ponyboy Horse says. Hell yeah brother, she is my new waifu so far.
So easy to please.
Adam SH8BF says. A montant perhaps?
I don't know, we'll figure out the details as we go. Thinking we need to move the arm a bit more this way.
Adam SH8BF says. Montanti. Uni Unim says. DnD my beloved.
Hello, Uni. Like the stream title says, we're working on my monster collecting tabletop RPG. I promised chat we'd make a tomboy waifu here, so this is the last thing for the stream. I just got done drawing a bunch of creature eggs over here. And then we finished up this character design earlier.
Ponyboy Horse says. She's gonna have short hair and be perfect too.
As long as you're a good boy, Pony Boy. Let's see. I was trying to procrastinate a little bit on some of the harder stuff, but I guess we're just gonna have to do it now. The basics are already coming out a little quicker than I expected. Oh, I hate drawing feet. I think it was looking better before. Let's see, I feel like she's kind of leaning. Not so much. That's close enough. Alright, let's put some fingies in here. We love fingies. Alright, now let's see. What kind of armor and shit should she have? Let's take a look at the website and see what the rules say before we make a decision. Let's see. Probably not boiled leather. Brigandine probably would not look all that great. I'm kind of thinking some chainmail might be the way to go on this chick. Maybe give her like a scapula over it too, or whatever they call it. Maybe we can make her a Viridian Order chick instead of a militia chick. What do we think of that? Do any of you know about the Viridian Order?
Ponyboy Horse says, I think she should have breast cup cuirass with abdominal muscles formed on the plate.
Of course, Ponyboy, of course. You know what, we could give her kind of a breastplate and then have like chainmail around the midriff. So it kind of gives the impression of like a... Oh, what do you call that? Well, a midriff, a bare midriff, without actually showing skin.
Adam SH8BF says, what have I done?
We're not gonna go full on Spartan armor. Let's see, she's gonna need Booba though. That's a bit much over here. Oh, we'll make it a little shorter. So it hugs the feminine form a little better. And of course she's going to need a belt to keep it all together. I'm just now realizing how massive I made her hips. Looks a little weird when you start putting the armor on. Gotta tone that down slightly.
Ponyboy Horse says. Just blame it on the armor.
Alright, we're gonna have to put something here to cover up the crotch. Because of course she's gonna have to have thigh highs.
Ponyboy Horse says. Female armor's stats are based on sexiness.
She's gonna need some kind of pauldrons. I'm gonna start with something real basic here.
Adam SH8BF says, if you are worried about the hips, a slight adjustment could turn the pose into contrapposto.
I'm not too worried about the hips. I say as I adjust them. Honestly, I feel like we need to show more leg. Alright, I'm gonna look up some references real quick. Freaking Pinterest. I don't want to log into your thing. Alright, you know, that's a good little design element. That's not what I was looking for, but it's here now.
Says, what is her name?
I don't know, man. I'm not even sure what she does yet. You know, I feel like she needs something here.
Ponyboy Horse says, is she good or evil?
I mean, she's probably a good guy. Don't think she'd really fit with any of the villain factions. Unless you want me to turn her into a tree person. Let's see.
Adam SH8BF says. So like a corrupted form.
Like, the Sylvan Guards. If I can find... Yeah, these guys. Like these guys. Except for this guy over here. He's not right. There. There. Now he's the right one. With his cape and everything. Whoops. Drawing on the wrong layer again. I would say mark it on the bingo card, but we already did that. See, this is how we get away with making it semi-realistic. We got the chainmail hanging down on her thighs and the greaves on the bottom half of her leg, which means that right up in here we can have the absolute territory showing. And it's still like mostly protected. Am I a genius or what?
Ponyboy Horse says. When she gets short hair she will be perfect.
But what if, Ponyboy, what if? I do all this and then I give her long hair. What then, Ponyboy?
Ponyboy Horse says. Don't ruin it at the finish line. Ponyboy Horse says. I will crash out. Ponyboy Horse says. Metaphorically.
Let's see.
Adam SH8BF says. And knee-length ponytail. Damu says. Has rated this stream.
Daimo! Hey, it's actually telling me when Rumble raids come in. Awesome. Thanks for the raid, Daimo.
Ponyboy Horse says. I own no ponytails.
What if it's just a short ponytail? What if she's just like got a side ponytail like Misty or something? Hmm? What about that? She needs something on her arms.
Damu says. Hey there, Dice.
Hello there, Daimao. How's it going with you?
Damu says. Not a bad idea. Ponyboy Horse says. What if we just do short hair?
That's so boring, Ponyboy. What kind of short hair? There's only so much you can do with short hair. It's hard
Short
to...
hair is practical and nice looking.
It's hard to come up with something unique with short hair.
Ponyboy Horse says. It will be unique here because you never do it on ladies. Damu says. Just finished the Yakuza on the PS2 and went back to streaming Parasite Eve.
Ah, okay. Gaming. I've hardly been
Damu
doing any
says,
gaming myself.
The VA in Yakuza on the PS2. Damu says. Gaming.
I hate drawing armor.
Damu says. Is good.
The VA for Yakuza?
Ponyboy Horse says. Erase that ponytail, I see that.
I drew that when I was talking about it, Ponyboy.
Damu says. Yes. Adam SH8VF says. What is your method for drawing boots?
Boots, I just screw around until it looks right. I'm not the person to ask about drawing feet and feetwear.
Ponyboy Horse says. Don't lie to them, you take feet pics for references. Ponyboy Horse says.
I don't think I've ever taken...
Dicebag is a fetishist.
Or did I do that once? I don't know, I might have done that once. Usually I take hand pics for reference because those things are hard. And people will always be complaining about them when they have two references.
I'll give you feet pics.
On the end of their freaking own arms that they could simply snap a picture of with the straight up cameras that we all carry in our pockets now.
Damu says. If you're that desperate, pony.
There you go, pony.
Ponyboy Horse says. I don't want feet pics.
I hope you appreciate this, the way I'm trying to keep her arms mostly uncovered so you can see the muscles.
Ponyboy Horse says. Muscles woo. Ponyboy Horse says. Now that's what I call fanservice. Honestly, this arm could be a little thicker. Okay, hair time. Ponyboy Horse says. Did you know you can buy a crunchy stuffed crust pizza from Little Caesars for $10?
I did not know that. There is no Little Caesars around my town, so not particularly useful information for me.
Ponyboy Horse says. The crust is stuffed with cheese and has crunchy breadcrumbs on top with garlic butter. It's yummy.
That's cool. I didn't give this chick ears.
Damu says. Did you know, you can make pizza at home? It's cheaper.
Making things at home takes time, though.
Ponyboy Horse says. Does Crytures have slavery in it?
Not really. At least not yet. Unless you count binding the creatures as slavery.
Ponyboy Horse says, how am I supposed to be immersed without slavery?
I don't know, have fun.
Damu says, Pony just needs a tomboy/housewife and make him some pizza. You can always tell her to make a sandwich.
Don't we all need that?
Then it wouldn't be slavery.
There you go, Ponyboy. I guess we do have slavery. We have women becoming wives for their husbands. Oh. The oldest form of slavery.
Ponyboy Horse says, I love slavery. Damu says, will he ever own a slave?
You know, this chick's got a little too much of a man jaw at the moment. Let's soften that up.
Ponyboy Horse says, does Crytures have brothels?
I don't know. Maybe. It's not a thing I'm really focused on for the game.
Ponyboy Horse says, does Crytures have Crytures brothels?
Same answer.
Ponyboy Horse says, the Vaporeon fan base needs to know.
Wow, Ponyboy, are you thinking of visiting a brothel to see one of these? Is that what you want? I got too many tabs open here.
Ponyboy Horse says, "Not me, I am a good boy."
Ah. On the wrong layer again. Ah. Alright, what do we think, Pony Boy? And what kind of face should we give her?
Ponyboy Horse says, "She looks good from the front." Ponyboy Horse says, "What she got going on in the back for or?"
Not much. Just trust me, Pony Boy. It's just something like so.
Ponyboy Horse says, "Based." Ponyboy Horse says, "She's new waifu." Ponyboy Horse says, "Finally some good food." Ponyboy Horse says, "The tomboy community has their figurehead here." Ponyboy Horse says, "I love her, I want to marry her." Ponyboy Horse says, "She will birth me sons that will rule empires and local supermarket chains."
I think her nose is a little too long. Or just too far down. Actually, her eyes are probably too high up. Ah! Had the wrong setting on. Alright. Now last thing, we need to do something about the sword, because it's just sitting there being plain.
Run a
And
Clinton Africa
still looks a
22
little
says,
crooked.
shut the fuck up.
Oh, hello. We got a rumble retard over there.
Run a Clinton Africa 22 says, you is a bitch.
Yeah, buddy.
Boy Horse says, I wonder who he was talking to specifically.
He's talking to himself now.
Boy Horse says, wait, no, don't ban him, we will never see where his story arc was gonna go.
Oh, that's too bad. It's too late in the night to banter with randos.
Boy Horse says, I wanted to see the plot twist where he was talking to himself, Jekyll and Hyde style.
He's like Golem.
You is a bitch.
No, no! Oh, he's a good boy. You know he didn't have anything good to say when his name is Bretta Clinton Africa 22. Make this blade nice and wide. All right. You know what? Let's get a reference up here for a great sword. I'll grade their all hyper fantasy looking ones.
Damu says, "They're spammers. I got the strangest post typed in the chat last night, and I had to add another moderator just to ban him."
Yep. They're everywhere. There's always some retard trying to start shit with people they don't know. Because they're sad, lonely people.
Ponyboy Horse says, "Dice bag fact, Dice bag eats uncooked pasta."
No. That is disgusting. That sounds like something one of my cousins would do, actually. Actually, I think that is something they do. Or maybe it was my sister. I don't know. Hard to keep track of all the food habits in my family. I know a lot of them like to eat ice.
Cheesecake says, "Hello."
Hello, Cheesecake. How's it going? We are designing a waifu for the chat here. And certain people were begging me to make a tomboy. Even though I was like,
Boy
no,
Horse
I have
says,
work to do.
I have a feeling this fellow might be Cheesecake.
Cheesecake? You think Cheesecake might be Cheesecake? Maybe. You might be onto something, Pony Boy. But yeah, generally we're working on a monster collecting tabletop RPG.
People love tomboys, it's pure science.
As you can see from the monsters with the eggs that we were drawing before. Back when I was like, no, we have to draw eggs today. Eggs is the thing today. We're doing eggs. But somebody was like, no, draw tomboy, draw tomboy, draw tomboy. With short hair. Okay, we'll draw tomboy. She still doesn't have a name, by the way. Also, we're gonna kinda
Ponyboy Horse says,
texture this a little bit.
tomboys are cooler than stinky eggs, it ain't Easter.
It's Christmas, almost, and that's a related holiday.
Ponyboy Horse says, what if we name her Scarlet and give her red hair? Cheesecake says, I trying to go around and ask Vtuber arrest if they can make a profile picture for me like a Vtuber model.
Well, if you're asking me, I'm not really taking requests or commissions, so that's not a thing I can help you with.
Ponyboy Horse says, Dicebag cancelled his commission just because he saw me roll into town and is that afraid of the peak female form. Cheesecake says, I still going to watch you because you made me laugh somehow.
Well, that's cool. I'm glad I made you laugh. It might be the only time. I don't know. Am I funny, Pony Boy? Alright. I guess we should probably add some detail on her feet.
Ponyboy Horse says, I think you are only as funny as your audience allows you to be.
That's probably true. I'm not very funny when I don't have anybody to talk through.
Ponyboy Horse says, me. I'm hilarious.
Hard to be funny when you don't have an audience. Boy, I hate drawing shoes. It's almost over though. I'll just add a little bit of detail here. Maybe come back to it later. when I have a minute to think about it. And I'm not streaming.
Ponyboy Horse says, here comes the communist and his fetishism.
Excuse you. Oh wait, is that a... Are you warning me about something? Are you talking about
Ponyboy Horse
Evergrade?
says,
Oh, okay.
I was referring to you.
I thought you were watching somebody else at the same time and you were telling me Evergrade
Cheesecake
was
says,
gonna bring
I
people
feel
over.
like Ponyboy would say nay.
Ponyboy says a lot of things. Nay might be one of them. Let's see.
Ponyboy Horse says, Evergrade is too busy browsing r/Soylent right now.
Oh, okay. Let's see. You know what? This might be pandering to the Ponyboy gaze a little bit, but we're gonna make her taller.
Ponyboy Horse says, whoa. Ponyboy Horse says, tall, 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 tall.
That's a little better. You know what though? We could go further. We might have to make some adjustments to the body, but... Oops. I missed a layer. Alright, I'm gonna slim her neck down just a tad. So it doesn't look
Ponyboy Horse says,
as awkward with her
okay,
head.
get this aesthetic. Blackened armor, with silver trim.
I don't know, Ponyboy. We'll see when we get to the coloring stage in like 5 weeks. Cause in case you weren't aware, Patron's got like 2 or 3 other things he needs to do line art for me on. I'm still waiting on those.
Ponyboy Horse says, hey man, I think the idea sounds cool. Ponyboy Horse says, tell patron you have a priority alert code Tomboy.
Honestly, I think the other ones are a higher priority. Let's see, what do we need? Yeah, we've got other waifu illustrations in the works that we have to finish first. We've got Maybell spinning her thread. We've got Heather healing someone's broken leg. You're gonna have to wait in line, Pony Boy. What were we calling this chick? You said Scarlet, I think? Actually, what? I was just had her named Militia Warrior. We're gonna kind of use her as like a general, unspecific character design.
19, and you guessed it, 84.
All right. Let's save this as an image. I think that's gonna have to be, actually, hold up.
Ponyboy Horse says, she is the best waifu to date.
I would beg to differ. She's got to contend with the likes of Chloe and what's that other chick's name? We got Maybell. We've got Kindle. I think, yeah, I think you might be overestimating her.
Tomboys.
We'll see about that. All right. Think it's about time to wrap things up. We've been going for almost 4 hours, I think. Can you imagine if I just spent that entire time drawing eggs? Oh, jeez. Wouldn't have lasted that long, honestly. There we go. We'll get the outro music going. So thanks for showing up. Especially you, Brudda Clinton Africa 22.
Ponyboy Horse says, tomboys are cooler than eggs.
Alright. We will call it a stream. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I will see you next time? Next week? Okay, it's gonna be 2 days after Christmas.
Says, I had a good time listening to your stream.
Oh, thank you, Daimao. I will see you guys next time. Bye!
Ponyboy Horse says, later NWAS.